Owning dogs and working full time, it's not the easiest. And I have it a lot easier than most, or than a lot, because I do shift work. So at least on nights I do generally get to see my dogs in the day and be able to do some training or do something in daylight. But this is the reality of dog ownership if you're working full time. Unfortunately, you can't just sort of tuck them away for another day. Yesterday I came off a night shift and I was shattered. I really couldn't. I could barely drive home. So we stopped at a field and had 5 minutes for the dogs to go to the lawn, play frisbee. That was it. I can get away with that because I don't do that very often. So we went home. I didn't even really sit downstairs with them. It was literally everyone had breakfast, went to bed. I feel a bit mean on days like that when they've had to sort of wait quietly and be patient and not do anything overnight, and then I've not done a lot with them in the morning. But from a safety aspect, I just had to go to bed and that was that. Last night though was my second in a run, and it meant I was sort of starting to get into the swing of things.
Well done, guys.
My body was adjusting. So this morning I'm far more awake, feel far more with it. It is thick fog, so I don't particularly want to drive straight home. So this riverbank walk is absolutely ideal. It's safe enough, there's other people around. I've got a head torch on, so I can see where I'm going.
Good girl.
And yeah, I don't like going in the woods at this time of day now. I used to, didn't used to mind, but I had a couple of incidents, someone following me. And then something personal, perfectly innocent, but pretty scary. It wasn't the Scouts, it was one of the sort of young army groups out training in the woods.
Good job, guys.
But I was on my own out there and suddenly you see these sort of
well done
shapes, 6 foot shapes in camouflage hidden all around the woods, and that was a bit scary. It was only when I saw their minibus when I got back to the car park I realised what they were doing. But there we go, we've gone off track. So the reality of having your dogs in the winter is thinking about how you're going to exercise them and how you're going to keep them happy. Days off, not a problem at all, of course, and that's why I go off on adventures. If they're really sort of do something different, tire their brain, tire their body on days off, that's excellent. On work days, like I say, I'm a shift worker, so I get the advantage that in the daytime I can do things with them. Having said that, they've had their walk this morning. This evening we'll leave early for work and go and walk on the way. And that's, whereas yesterday, because they'd had no walk in the morning, we drove to the forest and had a long forest walk mid-afternoon, which that worked well, and I did even get a second sleep in, which was good. But it does take, that's all you then do for the day, that's it. Whereas doing it this way today, I might at least get some washing up done, a load of washing on, and a couple of other bits. If there's a couple of you living in the household, that makes life a whole lot easier, or more of you, because obviously you can share things between you. There isn't, there's just myself and dogs, cats, axolotls, and the others are no help. So I don't beat myself up when they have a fairly boring, barely a walk, as long as I keep on top of it the rest of the time. I've got some nice car parks I use actually for training in the evenings. They're usually floodlit all night.
Okay, guys,
Certainly the local farming shop car park.
Well done.
They're quite happy to have someone in there because it's security for them. And for me, it's somewhere dry, not muddy. I can see my dogs. We can do some training. So that works really well. When I'm working day turns, sometimes they do only get 10 minutes round the block. Or sometimes not even that. I will just play with them at home and do a little bit of training at home before I go to work. But then I make sure I get the head torch on in the evening, and we do go somewhere a bit different, somewhere that they can actually run. So it's all about balance. I'm going to head home in a minute, and there's a dog that will keep me awake throughout the morning, throughout the whole day actually, throughout the night. There's 2 in our area. The reason being they don't get enough exercise. It is as simple as that. They go round the block on a lead when their owners are working. That's not enough. Dog's not going to be happy. Certainly not for a working breed. If you get a small pet type, you might get away with it.
Good boy.
The working breed, if you want one and to work full time, you've got to find the time for it and make it work. But on the plus side, look what a wonderful walk I've just had. I'm going to be ready to go to bed. The dog's going to be ready to go to bed. And actually, of course I wouldn't be without them. And it does make me get up and about. So there you go. Having dogs, working full time in the UK winter is not all bad.